Hi, Adam, KB8VOM. I've had a lot of people ask me what my computer and radio setup looks like here at my location in my house, and so I thought I'd make a short video describing and showing off my equipment this morning. So let me get this thing started, and hopefully I will cover all the bases. And in my next video, I'm going to be showing the computer software that I use to control one of my radios, and it's also how I do all my logging. And also there used to be a map that I used to utilize a lot, and they just haven't updated that into the software yet, and I am happily anticipating when they do release that map again, because it shows me where I've made a lot of my contacts in the US and other countries overseas. So here we go. First of all, this is just a regular HP Inkjet Printer, and then right next to it, this top radio right here is an Icom V8000. And basically what it is, it's a 2-meter FM mobile radio transmitting frequencies of 144 to 148 megahertz FM, and the power output of that radio is 75 watts. The 2-meter band is good for local communications. You can also work satellites on the 2-meter band, and there are also some other linking repeaters that you get into, and regular standalone repeaters. You can also go radio to radio, and it's just they consider it the working band for disasters. Just because your entry-level license all the way up, it is utilized during disasters, and for local communications. Also, let's say interagency communications when all else fails. When you can talk to fire departments, EMS, hospitals. We can set up. And when I say we, that is amateur radio operators giving amateur radio traffic and emergency messages from one agency to another. And right below it, sorry, I'm trying to hold the webcam as steady as I can. Right below this down here at the bottom, that is the power supply. And what it is doing, it is converting 110 AC over to 15 volts DC. And that particular model was capable of producing 35 amps with the HF radio going and the 2-meter mobile going. It's still only drawing roughly around 20-25 amps, so that's more than enough of a power supply that I needed at this time. And we'll move on over here. This is the HF radio, the high frequency radio. It's capable of transmitting on 160 meters, which is 1.8 to 2 megahertz, and then the 75-80 meter bands, which is 3 megahertz up to 4, 40 meters, which is 7 megahertz all the way up to I think 7.5 megahertz. Or 7.3 megahertz, something like that, in the amateur band. And then it hits all the other amateur radio bands. I won't go through them all the way up to 6 meters, which is 54 megahertz. And that I've placed this ink pen up on top of the radio so everybody kind of gets an idea of how small and complex that radio is. It's a mobile radio. But since I've hooked it up to the power supply, I'm able to utilize it as a base radio, and everything seems to work out well with 100 watts, and I'm able to make some very long distance contact stations. A lot of you have seen my video where I made contact with Sweden, And let's see, the other really long stations that I've made contact with has been Japan. I've talked to them about 4 times. And heading to the east, I've made contact with the Netherlands and Sweden. And those have been my 2 farthest to the east. And then the farthest south has been Suriname, down in South America. And I've made a lot of contacts with other stations up in Canada, which is kind of somewhat of a hop, skip, and jump in some of those parts to California. But heading east in Canada, I've made a lot of contacts over around Niagara in that area. Farthest east I've talked to in the United States has been Maine. I still need to hit the southeast corner down to Florida. I haven't had a chance to talk to Florida yet. So one of these days, bands will improve, and I'll hear a Florida station on there and get a hold of them and make contact with them. And then right above it, right here, what you're looking at with these dials. Let's see if I can't get a better shot of the meter. This is the tuner. Let me see here. Okay, hold it steady. Basically, what there's 2 cross needles in there that move when I transmit, and it lets me know my forward power, which we want, and then the reflected power, which we do not want. Anytime you look at this as an SWR meter, SWR is considered reflected power, and reflected power from an untuned antenna will come back into the radio and cause the radio to get extremely hot, and can do a lot of damage to the circuitry inside the radio. And it is also a mobile tuner. I got the mobile tuner because most of the antennas that I am going to have up are going to be tuned, and I am using a multi-band long wire, so I need to have a tuner. That way I can utilize more than one band at a time when I am transmitting with this radio. The tuner is for HF only, and 6 meters. It's to match the HF transmitter right below it. And then right above it, I had to have the Buddha. I learned out here dispatching in California that the Buddha in radio communications is a very good luck charm. So there's my little guy right there, and kind of resembles me quite a bit. And then right above it is just a regular Coca-Cola collector's lamp. And my wife insists that I put it there for decorative purposes on top of the equipment. And then over here we have 19-inch widescreen monitor and computer speakers right below it, and keyboard and mouse. And that is my amateur radio station in its fullest. Out in the backyard, I have a 102-foot long wire antenna that is mounted up into a tree, and the apex, or the extreme height, which is in the center of the tree, is at approximately 25 feet high. And then each end of the long wire comes down out of the tree in what's called an inverted V, and the ends of the V are attached to the top of the privacy fence, one being on the back side of the house, and the other end goes over the roof and down and attaches to the perpendicular fence that runs along the side of the house. And with that configuration, I have been told by numerous stations not to adjust that antenna whatsoever. So I have taken their advice, and I've left everything completely alone, and that's how it's going to be until either the weather brings it down, the tree takes a break, or we move locations. So I hope that this answers a lot of everyone's questions that they've had for me. And like I said, stay tuned here in a couple weeks, and I will have the video set up with the computer software. So with that, I say 73s, which means best regards in amateur radio, and we'll catch up with you guys later. Thanks for watching.